All of our fun, all our dedication, everything will last for Kinfinity. Everyone, Kinfinity here, and here's my review of Flubber! Directed by Les Mayfield, starring Robin Williams, Marcia Gay Harden, Christopher McDonald. Yes, this perfect build-up. 2, Dead Levine, Clancy Brown, Raymond J. Barry, Will Wheaton, Eddie McClure, Jodie Benson, Leslie Stephenson, Malcolm Brunson, Benjamin Bratt, Dakin Matthews, Zach Ziegler, and Tom Barlow. In this retelling of The Absent-Minded Professor, of course, now this Ned Brainwright, he really is more scattered. How he literally has inventions even for just taking out the trash. Like, he has inventions for every part of everyday life. So it's funny how in this version, he really needs to get married. Like, he really needs to, focus on, not just doing the scientific living, but having an actual life and everything, Yeah, not just a scientific career. Yeah, like, he's so busy. Like, he actually created a robot assistant even before the discovery of Flubber. Like, he actually has a robot assistant named Weibo. I mean, like, that's a Nobel Prize. Like, that's a scientific prize. Like, it knows, it has a mind of its own. So this actual, self-thinking machine, how you describe yourself, this actual self-thinking assistant is already a scientific discovery, but like, he just like treats her as an assistant, Yeah, so she helps him out with getting up in the morning, making it to the university on time. Yeah, so he finally makes it. Yes, and so this class that he comes into at first, they've been more than prepared with like sharpening their pencils and looking at these models, because it's actually a life model, it's a figure drawing class, life drawing class. But Professor Brainer, he has to rush into these doors. Okay, so today's quantum explanation goes right into what we went over last week, and then you finally get that solid outcome. Any questions? And then the women alone, man, who are the actual subjects, the models. Oh, I stepped into the wrong class. So it's hilarious. As soon as he turns around, cause he just bulldozes right through them to go over this lecture, and then when he actually sees them, it's unforgettable. Yeah, so you see how even more important it is for his fiancée for too long, Dr. Sarah Jean Reynolds, to give him just the final, here is the final detail. No more reminders. You will be at the church at 4 o'clock so you can have the wedding finally. So it's awesome so that Sarah can always count on her best friend, since Sarah, she's been understanding of how Ned's been working so hard, because it's been 2 times so far he hasn't made it. He's been too busy. I'll get into more of what he should have had at the end, but yeah, he's been too busy. Like this Ned Brainer, like I said, is super scattered, being scientific. But I mean, he's focused, but he's just focused on his science. I'm saying, he's scattered between science and having, his regular life. Like he's focused on the science, and this machine handing him his toast, his lever. So like at his house, like I said, he has a machine to take out the trash, give him breakfast. Like he's fine with making all the scientific things, but with having his regular life, yeah, no more scattering. Yeah, because Sarah has been too patient in having him finally be ready, along with her friend Martha George. Keep all the wedding details. He used to finally make it. But I'll make this bouquet one more time, dear. Martha, she's been there for Sarah. And then, yes, Ned finally makes it to their lunch they're having. Yes, I will be there right at 4. We'll remember. Yes, well, in the meantime, exactly, you don't want to be on the campus. Wilson Croft is here on Medfield. It's Medfield again, of course. Like I already said, it's like the original, so it's Medfield, a little more amped up than the original. Yeah, so Wilson Croft is here, a friend of Sarah's. Please don't do anything. Who is also working with the most unwanted father of Chester Hochnicker, who is trying to get his son Bennett to be number 1, Medfield player on the football team. Yeah, so they're trying, to make arrangements with the dean and stuff, so that Chester could be literally the big man on campus and stuff. But no, it doesn't quite work like that. Yeah, never gonna happen. Yes. So now Ned is just locked back in his basement. Yeah, because they want to make big things happen. There's a bunch of these movies, Medfield, where they try to make big things happen in Medfield. So what Ned is finishing doing is finally making the substance. It's been very flexible, but after one more steam, one more test, whoa, this rubber is flying. Like it literally, at first he just tested out by bouncing it, up and down the floor. But then it shoots out the window, shoots outside. And then there's his father, getting his son to go to sleep. I tell you, there's nothing to worry about. Nothing's gonna come from underneath your bed. Nothing's going to come from your closet, so you can just go to sleep, okay? But then right before the father leaves, he have this window on the side, ricochet Flubber. The father's like, everything's fine. Right after, everything's fine. Flubber just runs on in the bedroom and then shoots back out the window. And then Ned finally caught it. This is a championship catch, and this catcher meant, this flying rubber. You know what this means, Weebo? And Weebo, it's flying rubber. And then Ned, no, it's Flubber! Oh. And since Flubber has a mind of its own. So now he's trying to spread how they made this new scientific discovery. But like I said, he already got this amazing robot assistant. But now it really is Flubber! So, while keeping it safe, to do this presentation to Medfield, so he puts it on his shoes, so you play back. He test it out in the Medfield gym. Like, this is amazing. While there's some thieves working for Hochnicker, of course. So weird. Yeah, Hochnicker. So of course, and actually Wilson, because we already don't want Wilson coming into the to the wedding anything situation. Like, we don't want Wilson at all, because he's so close to Sarah already, so we don't like him being too close to Sarah. The way that he's being a friend for Sarah while she's lonely, we don't want her to be anything to Sarah, because he likes her too much, so we don't want him to be anything to Sarah. Since Ned finally, okay. So he's actually working with these thugs But they're not gonna look through that window anymore because two of the two thugs, they look through Ned's basement window, and while he's testing out Flubber, he tested out on a bowling ball, of course. So of course the thug is right there. It hits him. It's hilarious. But you know, in these kind of movies, he's not seriously injured. You know, it's just an unforgettable impact of how he falls on these trash cans and stuff. Because in these kind of movies, it's like you don't see the actual injury. Like, it's not bruised terribly too bad or anything. Yeah, so you really gotta keep Flubber safe. So while Ned is trying to keep Flubber safe and actually usable for the basketball team, yeah, because besides, he is the other homemaker. Besides Bennett, got a whole basketball team, so trying to get the whole team back to actually making slam dunks. So he's getting the team to actually make 3 points, be good, by actually making Flubber barely noticeable on their shoes so they can actually play. You know, you gotta get Coach. You know, you gotta get Coach Barker to improve. Yeah, but after their last season, oh man, he would give them the most recommended amount of Gatorade. Gotta give them something so they win. He would try anything at this point. That's like the safest example that I could give. So, yeah, so the basketball team is now using Flubber, so they have an advantage. They can win. And, of course, Ned and Weebo, they're making sure that Flubber's not taken advantage of. And slowly he wins Sarah back. Because when he first tells her about Flubber, she shows him his suit, her dress. Of course, he had the suit. Shows him her dress and everything. And of course, because at first he's so excited, to show her Flubber and everything. Like, oh yeah, your dress. Oh, your dress. So you see how he drains and everything. He realizes, not again. While Weebo has always been there for him, and she actually tries to make herself, human, proportional. Like, she tries to make a hologram. She tries to make herself into a human by using a hologram. Oh, it's unbelievable how close she is to Ned. She tries to make this hologram and be even closer to him, but then she realizes how Sarah is the one for him and helps him out and everything. So Ned makes his car fly, so Sarah slowly comes back on board. Yes, and helps him out to defeat Wilson, the Honeckers, so that both Ned can finally, have this amazing discovery done. Medfield can be back on top of the universities, both in academics and in basketball. And him and Sarah can finally live happily ever after. So it's a fun retelling. Yeah, I love how they took it even further. It's like, in the original, Ned, who originally was played by McMurray, was very intellectual, but he was still, he took things in a lot slower. He really marinated in the equations, what he was doing. Like the original Ned, he wasn't as quick to jump to stuff. Like, he marinated a little bit more and everything. It's fun because, it's like a different side of the coin. So that's good for the original. Like the original, like flying rubber. Flubber? But here, Ned's literally pinballing out of his house so he can get to the university. Because at home, he does all the experiments. So, it's a ricochet even for him to just get to the school after doing all these projects at home. And then finally doing everything with Sarah finally. Oh, but Mrs. Chatworth, she had the original. That's what I was going to say earlier. The original had Mrs. Chatworth double check on the time. You have to go to the church. Oh, that's right, Mrs. Chatworth. Thank you. You needed a neighbor like that. That's kind of chat. Definitely wolf. Yes, so it's funny how in this one, this Ned has Weebo trying to keep him on track. Yeah, so how finally it's not just him focused on science and the experiments and him actually being with Sarah, having life, supposed to have and everything. So it's a fun remake, it's so fun, and yeah, like the villains are even more sinister, These thugs and this father and even this player, he needs to have school spirit, teamwork. Needs to be a team player. So you see how the you see like the worst of a father trying to push his son and them trying to make it big in the university, like making these shady deals and stuff. The worst side of that. So you see that too. So besides that, it'll last for Infinity. That won't last for Infinity. Yeah, they stopped them, and Medfield won the championship, how they're supposed to. So please like, subscribe, please hit the notification bell, knowing all new videos will come out, and these videos, Last Infinity.